The recent escalation between United States and Iran marks one of the most dangerous turning points in the ongoing tensions in the Middle East, with direct military confrontation unfolding in and around the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz. Reports that the United States sank 7 Iranian small boats, while Iran launched missile and drone attacks on the United Arab Emirates, highlight not only the fragile nature of the current ceasefire, but also the growing risk of a broader regional conflict. This situation reflects a complex interplay of military strategy, geopolitical rivalry, economic interests, and strained diplomacy, all converging in one of the world's most critical maritime choke points. The Strait of Hormuz has long been recognized as a global energy artery, through which a significant portion of the world's oil and gas supply passes. Any disruption in this narrow waterway sends shockwaves through global markets and raises fears of economic instability. In recent months, tensions have escalated dramatically following confrontations that intensified earlier in 2026. Although a ceasefire had been declared in April, the latest developments suggest that hostilities have not only resumed, but intensified in both scope and severity. At the center of this escalation is a United States military effort aimed at reopening the Strait of Hormuz and ensuring safe passage for commercial vessels. American forces deployed a large and sophisticated array of military assets, including naval destroyers, surveillance aircraft, and attack helicopters, to escort ships and neutralize perceived threats. These operations are part of a broader strategy to maintain freedom of navigation and reassure global markets that vital trade routes will remain open despite rising tensions. During these operations, U.S. forces engaged Iranian naval elements that were reportedly attempting to disrupt shipping routes. According to available accounts, between 6 and 7 Iranian small attack boats, commonly used in swarm tactics, were destroyed. These vessels are typically operated by Iran's naval units to harass or overwhelm larger warships through speed, maneuverability, and numbers rather than direct firepower. Their use reflects Iran's long-standing reliance on asymmetric warfare to counter technologically superior adversaries. The United States framed the destruction of these boats as a defensive measure, emphasizing that the Iranian vessels posed a direct threat to both military and commercial shipping. Officials indicated that Iranian forces launched a coordinated attack involving cruise missiles, drones, and fast boats, targeting ships under U.S. protection. In response, American forces intercepted and neutralized incoming threats, while simultaneously targeting the boats believed to be part of the attack formation. Iran, however, has disputed these claims, denying that its boats were destroyed and asserting that its actions were defensive in nature. This divergence in narratives is characteristic of modern conflicts, where information warfare plays a central role alongside physical engagements. Each side seeks to shape international perception, maintain domestic support, and legitimize its actions on the global stage. Compounding the situation is Iran's reported attack on the United Arab Emirates. The UAE, a key U.S. ally in the region, indicated that it was targeted by missile and drone strikes for the first time since the ceasefire came into effect. This development signals a significant expansion of the conflict beyond direct U.S.-Iran confrontation and raises concerns about a wider regional escalation involving multiple states. The attacks on the United Arab Emirates reportedly involved a combination of ballistic projectiles and unmanned aerial systems, as well as incidents affecting commercial vessels near its coastline. Such strikes highlight the vulnerability of both civilian and military infrastructure in times of heightened tension. The targeting of shipping lanes and coastal facilities demonstrates how modern warfare increasingly blurs the line between military objectives and economic disruption. From a strategic standpoint, Iran's use of drones, missiles and small boats reflects a doctrine designed to exploit asymmetry. Rather than engaging in conventional naval battles, Iran focuses on disrupting operations, imposing costs, and creating uncertainty. This approach enables it to challenge more powerful adversaries without committing to full-scale confrontation, while still maintaining a credible deterrent. On the other side, the United States has demonstrated its ability to counter these tactics through advanced technology, coordination, and rapid response capabilities. The deployment of helicopters capable of precision strikes against fast-moving targets illustrates the effectiveness of modern naval warfare systems. Additionally, layered missile defense systems allow U.S. forces to intercept incoming threats, thereby protecting both military assets and commercial shipping. Despite these tactical successes, the broader strategic picture remains uncertain. While the immediate objective of securing shipping lanes may be achieved, the destruction of Iranian vessels risks provoking further retaliation. Iran's continued willingness to launch attacks even after a ceasefire suggests that it is prepared for sustained confrontation and may escalate its tactics if necessary. The involvement of the United Arab Emirates further complicates the situation. As a significant regional actor with close ties to the United States, its security is deeply intertwined with broader geopolitical dynamics. Iranian attacks on the country not only threaten regional stability, but also increase the likelihood of additional countries becoming involved, either through direct military participation or indirect support. Economically, the implications are substantial. The Strait of Hormuz serves as a lifeline for global energy markets, and any disruption can lead to immediate increases in oil prices and shipping costs. Even the perception of instability in the region can prompt companies to reroute vessels, delay shipments, or increase insurance premiums. These effects ripple through global supply chains, impacting industries and consumers far beyond the Middle East. Diplomatically, the situation presents serious challenges. Efforts to maintain or restore a ceasefire are undermined by ongoing hostilities and mutual distrust. While there may be behind-the-scenes negotiations, public actions and statements from both sides indicate a hardening of positions. The gap between military engagement and diplomatic resolution continues to widen, making a peaceful outcome increasingly difficult to achieve. The rhetoric from political leaders has also played a role in escalating tensions. Strong warnings and assertive language reinforce the perception that both sides are prepared to defend their interests aggressively. This environment increases the risk of miscalculation, where a single incident, intentional or accidental, could trigger a much larger conflict. Another important dimension is the role of international actors. Countries that depend heavily on energy imports from the Gulf region are closely monitoring developments and may feel compelled to respond if the situation deteriorates further. The global nature of the stakes ensures that this is not merely a regional issue, but one with worldwide implications. In assessing the current situation, it is important to consider both immediate and long-term consequences. In the short term, the focus remains on protecting shipping routes, deterring further attacks, and preventing escalation. In the long term, however, the conflict raises deeper questions about regional security frameworks, power balances, and the effectiveness of military deterrence in maintaining stability. The strategic importance of the Strait of Hormuz ensures that it will remain a focal point of geopolitical tension. Control over or influence in this narrow passage provides significant leverage in global affairs, making it a persistent source of conflict between competing powers. The current escalation underscores how quickly tensions can intensify when such critical interests are involved. At the same time, the human dimension of the conflict must not be overlooked. Attacks on vessels and infrastructure place lives at risk, including those of sailors, workers and civilians in affected areas. Beyond the immediate physical dangers, the psychological impact of living under the threat of conflict adds another layer of hardship for populations in the region. In conclusion, the reported sinking of 7 Iranian small boats by the United States, combined with Iran's missile and drone attacks on the United Arab Emirates, represents a significant escalation in an already volatile situation. These developments highlight the fragility of ceasefire arrangements, the complexity of modern warfare, and the high stakes associated with securing critical maritime routes. While the United States has demonstrated its military capabilities and commitment to protecting global trade, Iran's continued resistance suggests that the confrontation may persist. The path forward remains uncertain, with the potential for either further escalation or renewed diplomatic efforts. What is clear is that the consequences of this conflict extend far beyond the immediate region, shaping global security, economic stability, and international relations in profound ways.